to beat me down and bruise me. They hide just out of sight, can't face me in the light. They'll return, but I'll be stronger. Gotta want to dream again, take me where I've never been. I wanna go there, this time I'm not scared. I'm unbreakable, it's unmistakable. No one can touch me, nothing can stop me.
Nawala ang infuse ng isang split sa BGS. Pero now we're back to prove na meron kaming ibubura.
To the Bacchus Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split. I'll be your shoutcaster today. I'm Vulcan, and joining with me is my co-caster, Atlas, coming in from Game 1.
Yeah, Game 1. Seems like ACA had a very good start there. It seems like they had a lot of improvements ever since promos and relegations. But in the end, Infused, formerly G1, was able to take away the win later in the game because they just caught out every single mistake that ACA was able to brought out later in the game.
Not to mention, it's also the rotations that Infused has against ACA. But going on to the schedule, to see the lineup of the games followed up, I mean, we have our first match of ACA versus Infused, followed up by this format in the schedule. In match 2 would be Mineski versus Jensky, and also the next match, Team Manila Eagles versus IPT, which is something you should look out for because it is the matchup between the sister teams.
That is formerly IPT Blue, Cerberus, all those names up against IPT, but from now, it's still going to be ACA, Asian Arena versus Infuse Esports. ACA definitely wants revenge against Infuse Esports after promos and relegations. So right now, this is one of their chances because they already had one loss. This is one of their chances to get back at them.
What do you think they should do in order to win the second game?
Because a lot of their mistakes earlier came into when their skirmishes started, when the team fight started. They tunnel vision onto a lot of targets that weren't key, which left them open to the counterattack from Infused. It seems like their rotations were doing okay, but in the end, Infused just overpowered them because they exploited the weaknesses. So I think that's something that they should be able to check if they want to take a win against Infused. Fix their decision making. They had really good shot calls. But the execution wasn't there because they left themselves open.
Also, their drafting was not that bad. In short, it was about their synergy and coordination.
Yeah, the execution definitely wasn't quite there. Like, it was almost there, but a few key mistakes, even the smallest ones, gave Infuse the win.
Well, this is the PGS. I mean, small mistakes like this will give your enemy a chance. And to our viewers out there, please, we are still running the match and win. And if you are interested in winning yourself an Imperial skin, stay tuned to the stream to watch out for that code.
250 RP skin coming your way, but you have to guess that missing letter or number. There's actually like a huge range that you have to guess through.
Well, that's the fun part of it.
So already like lots of tabs open. So coming into the pick and bans here, still, Akos Anivia banned out. Luxurious Zaya, he has shown a little bit of that. It's probably in scrims. And Zaya herself, not quite a slouch in terms of the damage until he can bring out in lane. At least one of the queens of the jungle, not surprised, is taken away from a very high-pressure jungler like Zenavla. On the hand of Asian, and on the other hand, Asian Arena banning out the Rumble, of course, the Zac still, and the Zillion. One of the picks might come from Calculated, who is a sub for Infuse now.
It's very interesting to see Calculated on Infuse. Let's see what can contribute to this team as the same thing he did for AEX, which he has been now in Infuse.
Yeah, and right now he's around top 4 challenger, and there was a point in Season 7 that he had a place in top 1 challenger. So this is someone who needs to be feared and respected.
You have to watch out for him. If you don't respect Calculated in the mid lane, you are in a big trouble. And right now, Asian Arena cannot afford any of the trouble that Calculator might bring to the second game.
Yeah, because experience behind Calculated, definitely something that they have to watch out for. But coming in for the rest of these picks, Ezreal, Nami, bot lane already revealed for Infuse. Top lane or jungle might be the flex here for Pandars on that Gragas. On the other hand, it's going to be ACA, Asian Arena, taking away the Karma and the Galio from Pandars. And interestingly, this might be the jungle, Zinavla on that Olaf.
And we are seeing heavy bans from Asian Arena in terms of the jungler for Infused. Look at that. I mean, Kha'Zix ban, we did see in the first game that he was
popping off.
He was very hard to control.
Very good rotations coming to the bot lane, exploiting him with an early dive. Definitely gave them a huge lead. The LeBlanc as well against Calculated. And what's interesting here is that these are technically 3 bans against Calculated. 2 from the jungler from XDXP, which means that the pool for XDXP to help Calculated out in the mid lane is much smaller. Coming to here, though, more bans against Luxuria, one of the star players other than Zinavla. He has been in the PGS for quite a while. And coming to here, the second rotation of picks, that's going to be the Twitch for Luxuria, responded to by the Graves, and the mid lane Fizz for Calculated.
A mid lane Fizz against an Orianna.
Orianna, that's a lot of utility that they can pick up. So definitely something that they need to be able to deal with. And looking at Calculated, though, they might have enough confidence in him to be able to use that melee assassin, mage assassin, against Orianna.
I'm pretty scared for Eiko. I mean, you're going to be facing the top 4 challenger in the Philippines in the mid lane. I hope he is ready to face against Calculated. This is something that you have to watch out. Not to mention the key player Luxuria on the Twitch against an Ezreal, except the support is a Nami, which really complements the kit of an Ezreal.
Yeah, lots of sustainability, lots of movement speed all around, but you also can't underestimate, of course Twitch is a little bit weaker early game, but you can't underestimate how much the Karma can compensate for that. And I do agree with putting Zinavla on this Olaf, because he seems to have taken a lot of kills, lots of good rotations. So putting him on a high damage, but yet still tanky jungler might be good for him. But I'm not sure how Olaf performs in this meta right now.
I think it's going to perform great because of the composition they have right now.
Karma too.
Yeah, they have a Karma. They have the Orianna and they have a Galio.
So he runs in
run
with
it down mid with the Ragnarok and call in Jason. Say, help me out here. Hero's entrance plus the speed boost.
Because the thing is, there's a lot of synergy here.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the natural synergy. He runs in, guns blazing, axes rolling. But since he loses the magic resistant armor from Ragnarok, that might be the time for the damage reduction of Hero's entrance to shine.
Yeah.
But of course, Infuse Esports definitely has a pretty good composition as well. They have a lot of they have a lot of proper lockdown with the Gragas, with the Nami. That's a little bit of a disengage as well. Plus, they have tons of damage from their 3 carries, and Calculated is definitely not going to be a slouch here.
Yeah, everything they have against the Olaf will be thrown out the window because of the Ragnarok. So I hope for Infuse that they have to time it correctly.
They have to time it correctly, but looking at the composition as well, it seems like they also have a lot of tools to just dodge that Olaf completely. Of course, we'll be loading onto the Rift in a little while. We'll be going onto the Rift.
Now we are up on the Rift against Asian Arena versus Infuse, and that was our featured matchup. Let's see how these players will perform against each other. But right now, let's go straight into Game 2.
We'll be seeing how these teams play out their level 1s. It is going to be important to establish something early. Might be vision, because vision is definitely important here for these 2 junglers. Zinavla, very high pressure early game, so establishing vision against him and for your own junglers, definitely something that Asian Arena has to be able to put down.
And right now, like as you said, Atlas, they're going straight for the invasion of Asian Arena's personal space. And look at that, the damage coming in from the level 1 just goes to show that you don't want to start a 1v1.
Yeah, he can recall back though, but that does establish the level 1 dominance that this lane will probably have. Of course, Hashi can just sustain it all back up, have a lot of safety because Liar is on that Ezreal. But if they get caught out, the damage from Morita Boy is going to be intense in that bot lane. The poke, plus he has Thunderlord's Decree, so That's something that you don't want to underestimate.
And also for XDSP, we did see him in Game 1 really dominating the jungle. Will we be seeing the same thing in Game 2? I think that in Ashen Arena's side, their jungler, Sinavla, should step up. He's on an Olaf, he does have to clear, but does he have the tendency to gank properly? I mean, he does not have enough gap closing abilities or burst. Really, just the slow from the undertow is the follow-up for them.
Oh man, I really like this ward coming from Asian Arena, because it actually gives them a lot of information on how Infuse will be pathing. Of course, it's a little obvious because Calculated did go from the Raptor camp, but this is a guarantee that they know where XDXP will be pathing.
Yeah, it's going to be the Raptors, then the Red, opens up to the mid lane, to the bot lane, if he chooses to. Very flexible jungle route, but how about for Sinavla? He is mimicking the same routine as XDSP.
Seems like he's skipping the Raptors. With his pathing, he might actually just immediately go for the blue buff here. There is a ward for Infuse Esports, so they will know that he's trying to take it away from him.
But can they respond in time? I think Sinavla will have a
ping
really
here.
good time.
Yeah, it seems like Calculated will be going there really quickly, judging from where the minimap is, but Eiko threatening him as well. And because Jason is pushing Pandars in, this will be much easier for ACA to respond.
Right
here
in the bot lane,
though.
Liar though going straight in for Luxuria. He's been exhausted, and there's the sustain from the ebb and flow, but the heal, but it's not going to be enough. That is the first block for Liar.
Now ACA a little bit of trouble here in the bot lane.
Oh, Riverside though, the fight has just broken out for the blue invasion. Sinavla is very low, not enough mana. He will be stepped back, but XDXP will be still facing the front line, aiming for Jason, but going back and forth, still deciding, let's go in, but it will be Panders initiating with a Jason follow-up from the Justice Punch, was Calculated, sweeping Jason's corpse, and now Sinavla will be cleaning up, but in trade-offs, Calculated gets the double kill.
Double kill onto Calculated this early in the game is a
man.
huge boost in power, and that's 2 early game plays by ACA that went horribly sour for them. Luxuria dying there. He was really building up his poison stacks for the Contaminate, but the sheer damage, the pure damage that Liar can bring out, because he's also been constantly hitting his Mystic shots, the attack speed is also there. The healing from the ebb and flow is also there, so that just means that Luxuria gets taken down eventually. And there in the top lane, that blue buff was a little bit too ambitious from Sinavla. He should have expected that there might have been a protected ward. And the second that he saw Calculated rotate closer to the blue buff, away from Eiko, that should have been the tell that they have wards here. I'm going to get absolutely screwed if I stay here. But he didn't, and then actually gave the double kill onto Carl.
And for ACA's side, they thought that, hey, let's take the blue buff from XDSP. He ruined us in Game 1, but it's been switched around. Calculated will be the one to take the most resources. I mean, 600 gold at start. That is huge. And we're talking
amplifying tones.
Yes, we're talking about the top 4 challenger in the Philippines against the mid laner of Asian Arena. That would be very difficult for Eiko to follow up in terms of itemization.
Yeah, 2 amplifying tones is a huge boost in AP. Liar with the safety of that.
Oh no, Sinavla though landed a slow onto Sachi. He is taking a lot of hits from the Twitch, and that would be Contaminate, but it would be Morita boy securing the kill. Here comes Calculated from the mid lane with a teleport, and now
another kill
is on a killing spree.
Another kill onto Calculated. He was running that teleport. Asian Arena should have been mindful of that, because you know that both their mid lane and their top lane have teleports. So you have to know, you have to understand, you have to respect that power, that you can't go all in. It seems like Asian Arena a little bit too antsy to get leads after that last game.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's really not paying off.
It was that sour taste they had in the blue side. They wanted to come back from it. They tried to make a play, but they are not respecting the 2 teleports coming from Infused. The teleport from the mid lane, Calculated with 3-0. I'm pretty scared for Eiko right now.
Worst part of it all is that, yeah, Calculated got that kill. So something that just boosts the spike, the early game spike that Calculated can have on that Fizz. Because that means he's going to be able to transition to his items much faster, like 900 gold faster, and that's actually huge in this mid lane matchup. And he has the blue buff as well now.
Oh, blue buff at level 4. And not to mention, he is actually behind in CS, but that does not matter.
That's because he was Roman.
Yeah.
He was Roman, he got that teleport bot lane, but that is so worth it, getting 3 kills.
But I don't think that's worth it for Sinavla. Look at the CS for him. 11 to
Definitely
22
not.
with a 1-to-1 KD. Not too bad, but it's the fact that the mid laner of Infused it's gonna be snowballing.
Yeah, that was, as I said, definitely too ambitious there. Because he got that 1 CS from the red buff, then rotated immediately to blue buff. So that's all the time invested contesting that blue buff, while XDXP already cleared his own Raptors plus his red buff.
Oh, Aiko really feeling the burn from the 2 amplifying
Here
tones.
comes Inabla though.
He burned his ghost, but Calculated is getting slowed down, and that would be a reckless swing to finish off Calculated for a shot on goal.
Instantly shut down.
Yeah, you
after
get the
that.
blue buff back.
So that does actually extend the duration of that blue buff in that's there on the map. But that was understandable. Calculated a little bit too confident there. Of course, he does have the 3-1 lead, but he hasn't really built those amplifying tomes to a real item just yet. Now he has the Hextech Revolver, so now he can probably go for more of these aggressive plays. That was a small mistake, though, that did give a lot of gold back to
the team
Sinabla.
of ACA. And not just Sinabla, there was a bounty on him too.
Yeah.
So I think I go
Rest of the team.
Yeah, as for team. But is it enough?
That's definitely like a big question here, because of course that was around 390 gold for the kill itself, plus half of that onto Eiko, and then let's say around like what 20 gold-ish around that towards the rest of the team. It's still not enough to make up for the 900 gold lead that Calculated built with those 3 kills he got, but it is something. It will help Zinavla recover from the big loss that he sustained earlier in the game.
Coming back from the base, Calculated did pick up the Hextech Revolver, but it's going to be a really good item against the Orianna because you do have the top damage from the passive of it. But the fact that Orianna Aiko is going for the late game, I mean going for the laning phase more, he did pick up the early item for the laning phase.
Lots of mana regen for him here, but Calculated going for
more damage.
More damage right away, going for that Hextech Revolver item straight away.
Luxuria, though, was very close in the kill zone. I mean,
man, he's still going for it.
Yeah,
though.
you get caught by the Aqua Presence of Sachi, you're in for big trouble. The enchantment coming from Tidecrawler's Blessing onto the Ezreal's Q, that's going to be too much damage. And I don't think any shield coming for the Karma will be enough.
Definitely not. Especially, though the good thing here for ACA is that Liar did miss the True Shot Barrage. And that is going to be... Also, Luxuria got that Honey Fruit there in the bot lane, which did recover a lot of his health from that trade-off. So that is something that did help them recover a bit from that trade. He has a Vamp Scepter as well, which, compared to the Tear of the Goddess Sheen from Liar, actually makes them about a little bit even in terms of combat stats, with a huge, with a small lead onto Liar.
And it's kind of funny how that Ashen Arena actually did the work for XDSP. He wanted to make the rotations to give Calculated a huge start, but in return, it's ACA who actually did him a favor, and that's why we're seeing him farming more now, getting more resources, amping up his CS.
They outplayed themselves. They outplayed themselves, but it's gonna be still at this point of the game. It's not too dire for ACA. Of course, 3 kills onto Calculated, but after that huge burst of gold, it seems to be plateauing. Eiko's still a little bit ahead in terms of CS. He has 2 assists. That's not too shabby. It will be the fight here in the bot lane, though.
Saji, though, will be the focus of the fire coming from ACA. Teleports coming in. It'll be 2 teleports from Infuse against 1 teleport from ACA. With Sinabla picking up Sachi, but here comes Calculated from the mid lane. Picking up Moraita Boy's bounty, and right now, Luxuria trying to get away, but he's spotted by Calculated. That will be a double kill. And right now, 5-0 Calculated will be very happy with what he's got from the bottom lane.
Still, they did not respect the teleport.
Again,
Of course, Jason has his own teleport, but at that point, both Jason and Pandars had theirs up. So in the end, that was going to be a 3v4. And they did get a kill off of it, but it went to Moraita Boy, and 2 other kills went to Calculated.
Yeah,
so that's still a huge win for Infuse.
it's like 2 teleports against 1 teleport. The numbers game was in favor of Infuse, but right now on the replay.
Because that's why you're picking up the teleport, so you can have a numbers game. Here, Jason gets a teleport, but look at those 2 teleport responses here.
The pressure coming from the laner is just too much. Ashen Arena can't all in at all.
They don't have a choice but to not all in. Because looking here, those are 2 kills. And I think Zenabla was also late on the Ragnarok activation earlier. If you noticed, he was still knocked up by the tidal wave. So that's a lot of time invested into killing Sachi. Here comes XDXP, now the target of this 2v1.
That'll be an easy pickup. He did not have enough mana to, or health to escape from that. But the question right now is Ako. Why is he not responding? Eiko, why is he not responding enough?
Yeah, he can't really afford to roam too much. He did pick up the barrier instead of, say, the ghost, which means that he's looking more to survive in the lane, coming into the late game, just farm up and get the items he needs to support his team instead of roaming. But since he's not roaming, that just leaves the teleports on the side of Infuse to just rack up in terms of the value that they get.
Yeah, but is it okay to play the safe game knowing that your team is having a hard time because of the response coming from Infuse? Eiko should really start roaming around, but it's very difficult. As you said, he did pick up the barrier.
It's really up there to protect against the burst that might come from Calculated. The burst from the rest of Infuse as well. Of course, they have that Grave. But it's still so difficult for him to respond to Calculated roaming around the map here. 5-1-0, already has the Proto Belt ready. He's going to shed some blood here in Summoner's Rift once he gets to a lane.
Yeah, I mean, a Proto Belt right now in 12 minutes into the game, he will use that to its full potential.
So I really don't think Eiko should have just stayed in lane. Even if he has the barrier, he already built the Sork shoes. Should just follow up and use that extra movement speed to help out your team. But you can't really compete against a teleport that Calculated should have. So it also falls on the rest of Asian Arena to not overcommit and respect the map potential that Infused has.
Or take note of the cooldowns of
Yes.
Infuse's teleports.
Yeah, they really need to take note of that. If you notice here, Pandar's, the cooldown on his teleport is much quicker than Calculated, which means that he has that mastery that reduces summon spell cooldowns. So Asian Arena should keep note of that. Since he's a tank, he's probably running 21 complete points into the rightmost mastery tree. So
The
he should
resolve.
be, yeah, the resolve tree should have that CDR as well on summer spell. So they should be taking note of that. So there is this small window of time where Infuse only has one teleport available, and that's when they can make that play.
But if ever they do make that play, Atlas, they have to take note of their damage, their itemization.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not even close to Calculated. He already finished up an item. What does Eiko have? Not even the Morello, but right
Eiko
now
has a fish on him.
he's a fish on him too, so that's going to be a signal for Eiko. I mean, Calculated feels the confidence. He has defensiveness and the burst coming from the Proto Belt.
Infused though, going for this 3-man push onto the top lane. Jason does have really good wave clear, but it is on a cooldown oftentimes. And because of the Iceborne Gauntlet built onto Lyre, that might be a very fast turret going down. But of course, ACA not wanting to lose that first blood turret gold.
There it is. Panda is making a
Oh
teleport
dear.
play to the mid lane. Calculated going for Eiko, but instead he backs away with the Proto Belt, and not now. Savavla is going straight for the fist, but there is the teleport coming in from the top lane. Infused, fighting back, and here comes the hero's entrance, knocking out Pandars, but Moratiboy is more of a target for Infused. Lyre picks up an easy kill, and right now Pandars is going straight for Eiko. He flashed for it. He gets a kill, maybe a double. He gives it to Lyre instead.
4 versus 5. Of course, they had the initiative on the fight there. They were able to corner Infuse a little bit, but that was closer to Infuse's turret. Plus, there was a lot of time for Lyre and the rest of the team to follow up and save them. So I don't see why ACA took that
They can go
fight.
for a dive right now, Infused, if
That
they
is
want
definitely
to.
possible.
But I don't think that's possible because why go for a 50-50? There is a turret and members are very low, so right now Infused looking pretty solid.
Yeah, but that was a huge mistake from Asian Arena.
Oh, Calculated though, still
Oh,
staying. 2v1,
Calculated.
he gets taunted. There's the follow-up from his assist from the bottom lane. And there is the heal coming from the ebb and flow and the Trickster to really outplay Ashen Arena.
That is definitely a playful Trickster, surviving that with a sliver of health. Let's break down that fight from earlier. Here, yes, Pandars gets a really good explosive cast here. Here it seems like they might have a small lead, but they group themselves up and leave themselves to be cornered. And here, now that Infuse has a united front here, they just get chased down and then taken out. And all this time, their AD carry was nowhere to be found. And even if he was there, that was not a fight to take, because that is Ezreal with already Iceborne Gauntlet completed versus a Twitch with only one item completed, the Blade of the Ruined King. That's not enough to have too much value in a full-on team fight like that. That was very terrible decision-making from ACA in that fight.
I think they took your advice, Atlas. I mean, they had only one teleport up, but that's not even enough. I mean, they extended
overcommitted too
yeah.
much.
They extended too much to a point that Calculator's teleport cut off, and that's how he responded. He was very low, but the coordination coming from Liar and Sachi was enough to play
Oh man, Luxuria.
in their favor, but Luxuria,
No words for that one.
Wow, such a burst.
Now 6-2-3, Calculated, very scary. And this is one of the biggest problems of picking that Twitch up, especially against a team like Infuse who wants to go aggressive, who wants to turn these, have these compositions that go all in really early in the game. You have a Twitch, that is a prime target. That is a juicy target for Infuse, and they are taking full advantage of it. Of course, it is a pocket pick here by Luxuria, but the draft does not demand that kind of champion.
Oh wow,
Oh,
Eiko taking
Eiko.
so much damage. Liar, though, misses the skill shot, and that would be a tidal wave gone for Sachi.
This might be the turret for Infuse, though.
Setting up for a turret.
Oh dear. Alright, the boy taking a little bit of damage.
Turret
Of course,
is
the
gonna
biggest
be
thing here is that the
focus.
turret will be available for ACA to take. Those are 280 carries, but seems like they are threatened off by the possibility that Jason might hero's entrance in Zenabla.
Oh, here comes
goes in.
Zenabla. Only with the hero's entrance, but he goes in too deep.
Yeah, definitely. The hero's entrance was there, however,
Too early.
too early. Plus, that was what I'm saying about Infuse's composition. They have a lot of tools to get away, even from Ragnarok. Ragnarok, Zenabla cannot be slowed, cannot be stunned. But look at all that mobility coming from Liar. Here, of
Liar
course, he
gets
falls.
taunted. He gets picked up by Ashen Arena. Would be giving a kill against.
Shutdown, actually.
Yeah, shutdown for Morita Boy.
Morita Boy. That's he's 3-2-2, higher KDA than Luxuria right now. But the biggest thing is that that's the kill distribution. That's not optimal for ACA. Those 7 kills are essentially because 3 of those on Morita Boy. Let's say that the total gold worth for that for the team is actually around 5 kills instead of 7. But it's because 6 kills are onto Calculated and 4 of them are to Liar, that's the full set. Panders, middle of everyone.
Wow, he's taking so much damage, and now left alone, Jason picks up the kill, and right now here's the flash in for Calculated. There's the playful Trickster trying to make an outplay, but I don't think he has burst. He does pop the Zonias, and now Jason tries to go in for Justice Punch, and now Calculated.
Oh dear.
Really going in so deep, he wants Morita Boy, but Luxuria will deny him of that glory in XP. No mana at all, so he's trying to free hit, going for Morita Boy again.
That is a small win for ACA. Very good though that Infuse, because Infuse Calculated missed a crucial Chum the Waters, as well as Pandor's taking too much damage without giving value for his team. But of course, even with that 1 kill advantage going to ACA, look at this. Liar gets a turret here. Liar is able to push out much further. And the Ocean Drake as well, because of how long that fight took. And ACA now, around half health, they are free to take this Ocean Drake, which in the end helps out Liar a lot, helps out Calculated a lot. So in the end, I do think it's Infused with a very small win. But 2 kills for ACA is good for them.
I think Ashen Arena should also really match their time together and the synergy and coordination. They need that. If it's too late for them, I don't think they have enough time to actually respond to Infuse's really aggressive playstyle.
That's true. Because they are quite aggressive, and their composition takes a little while to scale up, especially the Twitch. They definitely have to play a little safer, but not reactive only. They have to make these proactive plays that allow them to still be very safe. And they can do that by applying vision. Of course, their vision is not quite stellar in this game. If you look at the map, the only deep ward that they have is on the red side jungle of Infuse. However, there's not really a lot of wards around to really defend them from the damage that they can bring out.
Well, forcing out the ultimate from the Olaf is something that Calculated wanted. Really denies them of that flash potential, but the Baron is live, a very high priority objective, so I'm not pretty sure any member should really take
They are establishing lots of control there in the top lane. Both teams wanting to have the vision control there. Now ACA, after that little bit, have some vision control here in the top side around that Baron pit. Control ward as well, very important to establishing and maintaining that vision control.
Baron is really up for grabs here. And as you said, for the vision side for these teams, they're really focusing the Baron side. I mean, red side is warded, Infuse does have the advantage in the deep side of the Baron, but not enough in the front side. Look at the wards placed by Ashen Arena. More vision in front. A clearer picture for the map. But right now, I can see that Liar will be trying to going for the clear.
Liar definitely with that Iceborne Gauntlet has a little better wave clear than the usual Ezreal, but of course it's still a huge test on Asian Arena to really stop that carry. He's 4-1-4, calculated 7-3-3, so they have to find a way to exploit Infuse in the way that their carries can't do lots, can't contribute lots to the team fight, or even they might not be able to get a good team fight even though their composition is quite geared towards it.
They do have Aiko really catching up in itemization. I mean, Oriana does have a huge potential in team fights.
And even without too many items, even if he's a little bit behind in gold because of the kills, you cannot deny the power that a shockwave can bring down. Imagine if Zinavla delivers the ball into a really good shockwave with Jason following it up with a hero's entrance. It's a lot of free time for Luxuria to bring out his damage. He is catching up in terms of items. He has a Blade of the Ruined King. The Runans is finished for him. And Liar is really ahead in terms of itemization. But if he gets a lot of free hits because Eiko, Luxuria, and rather Eiko, Zinavla, and Jason all coordinate together perfectly, that is going to be a huge team fight for Asian Arena.
That's the perfect scenario.
Yeah, but that is a perfect scenario. They have to fix... Oh, Moraita boy.
Moraita boy, a bit too deep the territory. But right now, I think
don't
Infuse
have vision in their own territory at this point.
So Infuse is really having an invasion, going for the top sides and their turret.
It's very dangerous for Asian Arena where they can't even feel safe in their own territory because one, Infuse has taken out a lot of their outer turrets. So they have a lot more map control. And because of the rotations from Infuse, that's all coming down to just them being beaten down in their own jungle.
Yeah, if they don't establish enough vision in their own side, they're going to give the Baron away. If the top lane's inner turret goes down, that's more pressure in the Baron side.
Yeah, and they can join really easily too because Calculated does also have teleport and he's also very slippery. He's the perfect candidate to split push. Like if he can get a really good dance where ACA's is very sure. Okay, simply Luxuria having to be taken away there.
Oh, we're a bit of a mind game here. Calculated does get spotted by a ward. He does play for away, but Panthers is there. He might go for an engage.
Oh, it is a very good tank
Here
right now.
comes the hero's entrance. Here comes Jason. But look at the choke point, the narrow path for Ashen Arena. They are forced to back away with Panthers, trying to catch any member he can, just zoning them out.
A lot of damage onto Infuse's members, but not enough from ACA to actually finish off the kills. Quite unfortunate for them, but this does allow ACA a little bit of breathing room. However, look at XDXP there in the top lane. That is probably a dead turret, or at least almost dead. He has to rotate away knowing that the rest of ACA might catch up to him. But that is going to be the ping onto the Baron. That is an objective that they cannot ignore. They have to play it a little bit safer so they don't lose that huge pushing objective.
Well, 24 minutes into the game right now, you gotta expect that Ashen Arena's mid laner Aiko does have damage, but right now Zinavla, there's no more hero entrance coming from Jason, so he's forced to back away. So
using the Ragnarok defensively there is so bad for him, meaning that in the next team fight, in the next minute or so, he has no tool to stop the tidal wave, no tool to stop the body slam or the explosive cast. So that means his job of getting to Liar is much harder. And it's already very hard as it is because Liar is 4-1-5 and on that Ezreal who has the Essence Shift.
Not just for Ezreal, also for Luxuria, he is catching up. He does have the Runan's Hurricane, really catching up in terms of damage against the ADC of Infuse Liar. But will he have the safety of doing that?
Because Zinavla will be busy diving down, and Jason will be diving with him. It's going to be up to Moraita Boy to shield him up, but against Calculated's damage and XDXP's possible burst, it might be very dangerous.
Yeah, they will get tunnel vision by Calculated, trying to protect their ADC. But when the tanks go in, that just leaves Liar to free hit even more.
Yeah, and because Luxuria will not have his front line as well because they are quite busy.
Here it comes.
Oh, this is a very gutsy move here at the Baron call.
Will they succeed?
How will Infuse take care of this? Oh man.
Panthers gets caught off guard. He's stunned away. He will be going down very shortly. And now, with one member down for Infuse, Ashen Arena has the advantage in the Baron side. But I don't think in terms of damage they can catch it up.
Can they finish this Baron? It is 4v5, but they only took out a tank.
Oh man, here
Oh
comes
dear.
the flash in. The shockwave does miss going on to Liar. And right now, XTXP in the backside. Redemption, they're really trying to protect Liar, but he does make it away over the wall with an Essence Shift. And Calculated going deep, going for Luxuria and buying some time with the Zonias.
He's alone now though.
Wow, look
It's
at the
very
painful
slippery.
Trickster. Just played with the composition of Ashen Arena.
Looks like Zinavla trying to go for him, but it is a very slippery fish. One kill onto Pandars. They have to cancel the Baron as well. Luxuria still gets taken down. And that's what I'm talking about, because all of them are so busy diving in. Zinavla and Jason want to go all in into these front lines, but Luxuria is left alone to fend for himself.
And that's what I was talking about too. I mean, they go all in onto Liar. They leave Luxuria alone. So what happens then? Calculated gets a really easy pick off against Luxuria. So Ashen Arena really has to play it properly. They cannot overcommit.
They definitely cannot overcommit, but at this point, because they've overcommitted so many times, it's resulted in Fuse getting quite a huge lead. And ACA is getting very difficult for them to confirm these kills, because one of their key targets is so slippery and is no slouch in terms of his survivability because of his Playful Trickster, because of the Zonya's Hourglass. Liar as well has a lot of safety with the Essence Shift, has built the Ninja Tabi against Zinavla and Luxuria. Plus, he has the Iceborne Gauntlet, a little bit of slow for kiting, plus the armor is definitely helpful. So it's so hard for Zinavla and Luxuria to deal out their damage.
And it's also very difficult for Aiko to even set it up for his team. We're talking about an Fizz and Ezreal. They are very hard to pinpoint down and lock down using the Shockwave.
And because of Shockwave, that is a crucial ultimate. But the way they can deliver it is so difficult. They already have like a really good delivery service. They have really fast. Oh, Moraita boy might be in trouble. He has
Look at the
shields.
shield.
He has shields though. But if Zinavla, a really good delivery service, just go in fast, unmitigated by any sort of CC during Ragnarok, and Jason can follow up really nicely. If they can get a good Shockwave into a hero's entrance, while all the while Luxuria spraying and praying, that is gonna be a huge lead to Asian Arena. But because Calculated and Liar are very slippery, XD/XP as well is no slouch in terms of survivability because of the true grit, it's difficult for ACA to pull off the composition that they drafted, and this might have all started straight from the get-go of the drafting phase.
They're really setting up for Baron. And also, the drafting phase was pretty solid for Asian Arena, but it's the execution that's lacking right now. And Calculated, he's really mischievous
Well,
right
they're
now.
going for it.
He can really play it that dangerous because he does have the mobility from the Fizz, and he also has a flash in case things go really bad. So right now he's just wasting the resources of Ashen
Time and
Arena.
resources, and threatening them as well, because as soon as they're as long as Calculated is around, they cannot start with Baron. They cannot make two over-aggressive plays. They have to protect their AD carry here.
Yeah, and if a fight does break out,
Oh, they are
right
going
now,
for it.
tidal wave coming in. Moraita boy gets knocked off. That would be a disengage. Calculated. He's really going for Luxuria, but instead goes on to Moraita boy. There is the hero's enters. He is forced to flash away, and now popping this zone is buying a lot of time. And there's the redemption, and still Luxuria is going for him, leaving the tanks, really tanking all the damage. And right now, Asian Arena does have the opportunity to fight back, but would be enough. They don't have any more utilities, but Jason is trying his best to catch any member he can.
They got a little too divided there, not quite on the same page. They had an opportunity, but all that time that Zinavla and Jason were tanking damage, and they're in the mid lane, Luxuria was trying to chase down Calculated.
Yeah.
I don't think that was ideal. Definitely not ideal there. And even if he was able to catch up to Calculated with that low health, he might have been able to turn the tables and get the assassination against Luxuria. But because all of that, And that's what I'm talking about. Is that Infuse is so hard to catch. It has a body slam, has a quick draw, all of those tools to just avoid any further damage from ACA. So and the speed boost coming from the Nami as well. So if Infuse goes in, gets like a single kill, and then decides, okay, we're out, they have so many tools to just escape.
And also where Luxuria excels at is team fights. When they're grouped up together, it's really easy to use that ultimate of the Twitch to its full potential. But when he tunnels towards Calculated, he's wasting that potential, and I think Calculated is pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and that's also one of the roles of Calculated in this composition fulfilled. Even if he's not getting a kill, even if he was failed to confirm the kill against Moraita Boy or against Luxuria, just taking away aggro from the rest of his team because he's so slippery is actually a huge contribution.
And right now, this is anyone's game. Infuse did have the lead start, but right now, Asian Arena is catching up.
Yeah, they're getting closer to their power spikes, to their peak of power, but it seems like they are quite faltering in terms of the execution, as you've said. And this is allowing Infuse to just take away the map in terms of these objectives. How will Asian Arena respond to this?
To Cash. And right now, here
dear.
comes Sanavla. The
So
Righteous
fast.
Glory. So fast, but the Righteous Glory goes straight for XDSP. Switches to Sachi, and there is the flash from Eiko. Not landing a kill, but that was a kill onto Sachi with Liar left to free hit. He takes down Sanavla, and here comes the hero's entrance. A bit too late. Calculated, trying to look for an opportunity, but it would be Pander setting up for his team with no follow-up. But instead, goes for Jason. He does flash over the wall, but you cannot escape the grasp from the Fizz. And right now, a counterattack from Infuse with Luxuria with a spray. That is what I'm talking about, but a bit too late with a triple kill from Liar, cleaning up the fight. An ace for Infuse.
Complete ace as well, losing only 3 members. I think one of the turning points of that fight was when, of course, Luxuria could not free hit. He was only able to get the spray and pray out when it was too late, but I think that was because Zinavla, of course, was dealing lots of damage, being such a huge threat because of the Righteous Glory, and he saved his Ragnarok as well for a second burst of speed, but the hero's entrance was used on him when he was already close to death instead of another teammate. Let's look at that, how all that happens here. Because, of course, Pandar's being a frontline, really threatening as well. Jason flashes over and brings Calculated with him. At this point, this would have been so good if instead of casting Hero's entrance onto Zinabla, if he had casted it on his AD carry here, he would have been there to frontline all that time, instead of him having to flash over, get chunked down, and then having to flash over the wall. I think that was a huge individual mistake that really allowed Infuse to take away that ace.
But at least this gives Asian Arena the confidence.
4-6 and 4.
Yeah, they have the confidence right now. They can now rely on Luxuria to bring in the damage.
But if they're able, because I really like how Zinabla played that. He used his Righteous Glory. Oh, Zinabla trying to go for a fight here.
It's caught off guard. He cannot escape, forcing out his Ragnarok and burning the hero's entrance. Luxuria is coming in from the backside, but it would be Panders intercepting him. And there's the shockwave. Luxuria is still a bit healthy. He does burn the heal, but cannot survive long enough. And right now, Infuse has enough damage to clean up the fight with a double kill for Liar.
Once again, Luxuria almost going for that spray and pray, getting a little bit of value for that, but he put himself in a position where he didn't have flash completely ready, and he tunnel vision so hard that he was cornered but Calculated, and this leaves Infuse open to take this Baron. And of course that all started from Zinavla and Jason getting caught out by Liar. You cannot get caught out by Liar, because he's just gonna slow you, and then give enough time for his team to catch up to you and kill you.
Yeah, Moraita Boy going in for a steal.
We did see a steal from a Karma before the LCL.
Very
Not the case here.
Very close, though.
Not the case here. Let's look at how close that was. Or rather, let's look at a team fight here. Hero's entrance when Zinabla was already dead. So now it's not available for Luxuria. And look at it. Luxuria try to go in for the spray and pray in the middle of everyone. He put himself in a position where he could have been just piled onto. And that actually results in the almost ace.
Again, with the misuse of Hero's entrance onto Zenabla.
Yeah,
Should have been Luxuria.
At that, there are lots of opportunities to Hero's entrance onto Zenabla, and that would have been the correct play. But in that case,
That was perfect.
yeah, Zenabla was already dead at that point.
Yeah, and if he saved it, the fact that people, the members of Infuse are really surrounding Luxuria, that was such the right time to go in for the Hero's entrance.
Yeah, Hero's entrance. But in the first place, Luxuria should not have positioned there.
Yeah.
Because that left him open, as I said repeatedly,
But the
to that all-out attack. The sustain would have been there. He has a lot of shields. He has the damage reduction from the Hero's entrance. But is that really enough against Urshan Strike, against everything? XDXP might be in trouble.
Zenabla.
He's really fast.
So fast, gotta go fast, onto XDXP. There's no more Blasco there for your XK. Luxuria
That's just an opportunity.
picks up with an Electric, not get up yet, but this time XDXP is forced to be not too aggressive. He does not have enough damage.
Yeah, it's 1, 3, and 14.
Yeah.
So this is
More of an armor shredder.
Yeah, more of an armor shredder. Has the Blade of the Ruined King as well to just really take down Jason and Zenabla. But he's mostly there to shred the tanks for the sake of his AD carry and be a secondary damage dealer next to Calculated and Liar. Oh dear,
wow.
Eiko.
That's a lot of damage. Coming
Not a
from the
lot.
Hero's entrance.
The shield will be there.
The range
Hero's
was a
entrance,
lot.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is a huge cooldown again, taken away from ACA.
Very close game. I mean, at this point in time, 37 minutes in, you have to expect that the gold lead, anyone
Sure, looking for
established.
something.
And there it is. Sachi is taking a lot of damage, but Liar is fighting back. Who will sustain each other? And there is the sustain, but wow, look at Luxuria backing away. Same with
Oh, dear.
Liar, but it would be Panthers cleaning up for his team. With a teleport play, Liar is godlike, and right now Jason, without any member to go into, is left alone. Here comes Eiko for the response, but he just walked into that body slam, and now XTXP goes into the flash in. Zenabla really sticking in towards Panthers and was calculated on the scene to kill Jason.
This is a clean 3 kills for Infuse with a Baron buff and 280 carries up. This is going to be very quick demolition job here in the mid lane. Going to get the inhibitor as well. Luxuria, once again, a little bit too overconfident. He was able to get a firefight against Liar, but look at the sustain from the ebb and flow. Look at the sustain from the Redemption and the Blade of the Ruined King. This leaves Infuse with enough power and survivability to take away 2 Nexus turrets. Actually, no, just 1 Nexus turret. Now they have to run away.
Oh boy, that would be a huge setback for Luxuria in terms of positioning, but Zenabla, he'll be forced to back away. And yeah, this does give Asian Arena the opportunity. I mean, no more mistakes. One more mistake they do will cost them the game. Like what happened in the mid lane, they had to, if you had the Baron buff, why go in? Knowing that you do not have the, in terms of number advantage, not to mention the damage coming from Liar. He does have the Frozen Gauntlet, more defensive.
And he has the Ninja Tabi as well compared to Luxuria's Berserker's Greaves. So what he was going for a straight up lifesteal battle against Liar, and it did not end well for him. At the end of the fight, he died while Liar was like around 75%. That was thanks to the sustain from the ebb and flow, the shields coming from the Iron Solari, as well as the lead here is also on Sachi, having that Ardent Sensor, meaning that there's a lot more lifesteal because of the attack speed onto Liar. So Luxuria should not have taken that in the first place. Lots of these fights here that Luxuria takes that he should not have taken in the first place. That no execution. I don't think there was any execution in that fight that could have saved ACA. It was really the decision to take that fight in the first place that doomed them. And that's been happening a lot with ACA in this game.
But it might be a bit different right now, Atlas. You do see that Luxuria did pick up the Immortal Reminder.
Yeah.
No more huge lifesteal coming from Liar, and right now he did instead. Liar picked up the Giant Slayer, the Lord Dominic.
Yeah, so against Jason and Zenabla.
Yeah,
oh,
right
Sachi,
now,
trouble.
Forced the tidal wave away. Liar gets shielded in, but Zenabla is there just sticking into him. He gets slowed. He is forced to flash away, but for the backline, Calculated is spotted. People going for the flag. He's going for the juicy target. Who it is? It's Luxuria, and right now he did clean up for Zenabla, but XDXP is there for the flag. Jason, no more utility left, and that would be a sweep from the two-shot barrage, plus a double kill for Liar. and that is it. Infused cleaning up the fight with the second ace, costing Asian Arena their game.
That is going to be a 2-0 in favor of Infused. A lot of mistakes from Asian Arena costed them this game. Infused really cleanly taking advantage of those weaknesses, of those openings. Give them this to start off their season, their split, the summer split, with a clean 2-0. That's got to be huge momentum for them coming to their next matches.
Wow! Congratulations to Infused for a sweep.
For a first sweep, their first in their first match, in their first game in the summer split. Rather, in their first match of the summer split.
How do you feel about that game, Atlas?
That was quite sloppy coming from both teams, honestly. Coming into the early game, not as clean as most would want it. But Asian Arena, last game they had a really good early game. But here, it seems like they tried to push it too hard, that they lost something big. In the blue buff, also in the bot lane, because one, they were taking, the biggest thing there was they were taking fights that they should never have taken in the first place. First was the fight in the bot lane not respecting the teleport from Calculated. The other were mostly Luxuria trying to go for a hero play against an entire team that could just pile onto him and kill him.
And also not respecting the double teleport.
Yeah,
running on Infused.
I think that was the biggest thing that lost in the early game. And then coming to mid game, they had a chance to get back, but because they had this huge deficit early game, Zinavla wasn't able to be that huge, gotta go fast destruction machine that he wanted to be. Look at that damage. Barely more damage than Sashi. So
not even close.
It was really in the execution that costed them there. And the decision making on which fights to take, which fights to not take. So Asian Arena, they have improved a little bit, quite a lot from
game one.
No, from promos and relegation, but they still have a long way to go if they want to survive in the PGS.
Oh, that was more of a shame for Asian Arena. They did have a really solid chance, but Infused takes it away from them with the first match concluding with Infused Esports taking with a clean sweep. We have been your casters for the first match. I am Vulcan, and joining with me was my co-caster, Atlas. We'll be back for the second match between Mineski versus Jensi, something you should watch out for.
Bot lane though.
Saji though will be the focus of the fire coming from ACA. Teleports coming in. It'll be 2 teleports from Infuse against 1 teleport from ACA. With Sinava picking up Sachi, but here comes Calculated from the mid lane. Picking up Moraga Boys bounding in right now. Luxuria trying to get away, but he's spotted by Calculated. That will be a double kill. And right now 5-0 Calculated. The mid lane, Calculated going for Echo, but instead he backs away with the Proto Belt, and not now. Savavra is going straight for the fist, but there is the Talbot coming in for the top lane. Infused fighting back, and here comes the hero's entrance, knocking out Pandars, but Moraga Boy is more of a target for Infused. Liar picks up an easy kill, and right now Pandars is going straight for Echo. He flashed for it, he gets a kill, maybe a double, he gives it to Liar instead.
4 versus 5.
Of course, they have the flash in. The shockwave does miss, going on to Liar. And right now, XTXP in the backside. Redemption. They're really trying to protect Liar, but he does make it away over the wall with an extra shift. And Calculated going deep, going for Luxuria and buying some time with the Zonia.
He's alone now, though.
Wow, look at the painful Trickster. Just played with the composition of Asian Arena.
Navla trying to go for him, but it is a very slippery fish. 1 kill onto Pandar.
He takes down Zanavla, and here comes the hero's entrance. A bit too late. Calculated, trying to look for an opportunity. But it would be Pandar setting up for his team with no follow-up. But instead, goes for Jason. He does flash over the wall, but he cannot escape the grasp from the fist. And right now, a counterattack from Infuse with Luxuria with a spray. That is what I'm talking about, but a bit too late with a triple kill from Liar, cleaning up the fight at 8, forcing out his Ragnarok and burning the hero's entrance. Luxuria is coming in from the backside, but it would be Pandars intercepting him. And there's the shockwave. Luxuria is still a bit healthy. He does burn the heal, but cannot survive long enough. And right now, Infuse has enough damage to clean up the fight with a double kill. Look at Luxuria backing away. Same with Liar, but it would be Pandars cleaning up for his team with a teleport play. Liar is godlike, and right now Jason, without any members to go into, is left alone. Here comes Echo for the response, but he just walked into that body slam, and now XPXP goes into the flash in. Senavla really sticking in towards Pandars, and was Calculated on the scene to kill Jason.
This is a clean 3 kills for Infuse
Infuse.
with enough power and survivability to take away 2 Nexus turrets. Actually, no, just 1 Nexus turret. Now they have to run away.
Boy, that would be a huge setback for Luxuria in terms of positioning, but Zanabla, he'll be back away, force the tidal wave away. Liar gets showed in, but Zanabla is there just sticking into him. He gets slowed. He is forced to flash away, but for the backline, Calculator is spotted. He will go for the flag. He's going for the juicy target. Who it is? It's Luxuria, and right now he did clean up for Zanabla, but XDXP is there for the flag. Jason, nobody to be left, and that would be a sweep from the 2-shot barrage, plus a double kill for Liar, and that is it. Infuse cleaning up the fight with the second ace, costing Asian Arena their game.
That is going to be a 2-0 in favor of Infuse. A lot of mistakes from Asian Arena costed them this game. Infuse really cleanly taking advantage of those weaknesses, of those openings, give them this to start off their season. Their split, the Sharma split, with a clean 2-0. That's got to be huge momentum for them coming to their next matches.
Wow, congratulations to Infuse.